Hello everyone and welcome to part 15 of my Rams Connected franchise here on Clyde92 TV, and I'm starting off this video showing you guys the injuries on both teams. This episode we will be playing the Cleveland Browns, the laughingstock of the NFL, and they do not have Brandon Weeding in this game, and that will force them to play Marty Baldridge, the projected #1 pick of the draft, the projected #1 quarterback of the draft, and we ended up taking Jaquay White over him, so that's the big storyline of this game. Now at the beginning of this video I want to talk about something a little bit different. Since the NFL season is over and there's nothing really to talk about involving the NFL up until the draft, I kind of want to talk about Madden, the game itself, and the things I really think they should improve upon in the game, and some things in the game that I hope they get rid of. And the first thing that I really like in this game is how you kind of have the option to create hot routes as a quarterback and how you can pick the routes that receivers run, because it really gives you that feel that as a quarterback you really control the offense, you can choose which direction your receivers are going, and it really changes the way the game plays from an offensive point of view, especially compared to past year's Maddens where you could only change the entire play as a whole and you didn't really have that feel that you could control all the receivers in the offense. So here on 3rd and 5 at the beginning of the game, we start off with a 3 and out, which is not a good sign for our team. Now the second thing I really like in this game is how you have the new offensive moves with your players, and when I say that I'm talking about the improved trucking and juke moves and things like that, because it really makes offensive players more of an offensive threat, whereas in the past running backs were kind of, just fast players and they didn't really have the best jukes, and their jukes were the same as all other running backs. So you could have running backs that you never even heard of pulling off the same jukes as guys like Adrian Peterson, just not as fast as he would. However, these offensive moves leave the defense at a huge disadvantage, and this is because you have offensive players pulling off crazy moves, whereas the defensive players have no new additions, so they're left at a huge disadvantage. All you have is the big hit stick, which is sometimes more of a bad thing than it is a good thing, because if you miss with that, then you're almost guaranteed to give up a ton of yards. So it is not uncommon to have consistent scores like 42 to 49 in these Madden games, because the offense has so many more new additions than the defense does. And speaking of new additions, there's one thing in Madden that I have always wanted to see, and I have never seen it in a Madden game, and it's pretty small, but I have never seen Bill Belichick in a Madden game. They always have some guy replacing him, and I have no idea why. It may be some kind of issue where he doesn't want to be in the game or something like that, but he's one of the most popular coaches in all of NFL history, so I don't understand why you should not be able to get him in the game, yet you have guys like Tom Landry in the game. It doesn't make sense, and he's a modern day NFL coach, so I think he should be a big priority to get in the game. It's just a small thing, but it's little things like that in this game that seem to really bother me. Another thing that always seems to bother me is the crowds in this game. They are so generic. They're all wearing, if you look closely, they're all wearing like the same jerseys with the same numbers on them. I wish they would at least have them wear the numbers of like the popular players on the team. I know it's pretty difficult graphically to create a detailed crowd, but with the amount of money EA has, I think they should be able to pull off at least a little bit less generic crowd. So those are just some of the little things in the game that bother me. Now I'll go on to the main things I think they should add or fix, and the first thing I can think of is how they do not have the ability to like upload draft classes in the game, that way other people can download them, and this just does not make sense to me. So many other sports games you can share draft classes, that way if you do multiple seasons in a game mode you can have realistic rookies, that way it keeps a sense of realism in the game. But in Madden you're forced to auto-generate rookies, which causes the seasons to lose their effect over time. Now I'm just gonna tell you guys one more thing. I have a whole list of things I want to talk about in this, but this was a really good game and I want to be able to talk about the gameplay a little bit more. So the final improvement I want to talk about in this episode is the mode in Madden where you control just one player. Now in case you guys don't already know this, I'm so excited to get the new NBA game, NBA 2K14, and if you guys have seen the My Player mode in it, they have added an entire new storyline and all these extra things into their My Player mode. And now that 2K is stepping up their game in the My Career mode, I think that Madden should do the same thing, because if you look at the My Career mode in Madden, you can't even call it a My Career because it's just controlling one player for 16 games of the season and then the playoffs. I'm not even sure if you can upgrade the stats of your player. There's absolutely no storyline whatsoever, and you get to pick the team that you start off on. And I think picking the team basically ruins the mode, because you could decide to go on the Seahawks or the Broncos and just be on a stacked team from the start and be close to going to the Super Bowl or even winning the Super Bowl in your first year. In My Career, you can't really pick the team you go to, and you normally get put on a team that's not that good, so it at least adds a challenge for you to, rebuild your team and be like the leader of your team and take them to a championship. And you don't have that same feeling in Madden. It may just be the sport itself, where in Madden it's harder to be a leader if you're like a cornerback or a defensive player, whereas if you play in the NBA, no matter what position you are, you could be the leader on your team. So it may just be the sport itself that I'm upset with, but I definitely do think that Madden has this great mode in front of them, and yet they do nothing with it year in and year out. So I can talk more about this topic in a future episode, so I'm going to get into the gameplay of this video. So on 4th and 9, the Browns will decide to kick a field goal from the 12-yard line. It is up and good. That makes the score 10-10, and up until this point in the game, the Browns are hanging in a lot better than I thought they would be, especially when considering that they don't have their starting quarterback and they weren't a very good team last year. So Jaquay White on 1st and 10 is finding Mike Williams on the right side, and Mike Williams has by far been the biggest offensive threat on this Rams team in Season 2. Now on 1st and 10, we're doing a draw play to Jaquay Rodgers, who has had a pretty disappointing season. Last season, he led the league in touchdowns, rushing yards, and he set the record for most touchdowns and rushing yards in a playoff game, and this season, he's just not producing the same way that he did the past one. And honestly, I think the real reason why Jaquay Rodgers isn't playing as good as he did last year is because our offensive line has definitely taken a toll since the offseason. We had the option of taking a top offensive lineman in the first round, and I took Jaquay White instead, which I do think was a good decision because it expands our offense to a new level, but at the same time, it very much weakens our run offense. Now on 2nd and 10, the Browns have it at the 20-yard line. Baldridge is back, so much time in the pocket, finds Josh Gordon on the right side, the #1 receiver on the Cleveland Browns, and they just had so many breakout players this past year. The biggest one obviously being Jordan Cameron, who just had a phenomenal season. Now on 1st and 10, Baldridge is back. They're doing a no huddle. He's thrown it to the right side, and I make a stupid play with Cortland Finnegan. I just played terribly in this game defensively. I tried using the big hit stick, and I just could not hit any of their wide receivers or running backs, and my poor defense this game definitely does hurt us. Now on 3rd and 4, Baldridge is finding Greg Little across the middle, and there again, I make a stupid decision with the safety. I have him dive away from the wide receiver, so that will make the score 17-17, and we will have a chance right now to go downfield and get something going right before the end of the first half. Jaquay White is back. He's throwing it to the left side to Mike Williams, who I think it's out of bounds right there with 30 seconds left. We could take the lead before going into the second half of this game. Now we're passing with Jaquay White on 1st and 10. He's thrown it to the left side to Mike Williams again, who gets to around the 25-yard line. That will set us up for a field goal, and that will give us a chance to take the lead going into the second half. Greg Zuerlein is out. The kick is up and good. That will make the score 20-17 going into the second half of this game. And this game is a lot closer than I expected it to. The Browns are not a very good team at all, as I said earlier in the video, and I'm surprised that they're staying with us up to this point. We definitely need to pick up our game, and that means we are going to need to pass the ball more because that is what worked well in the first half against the Browns. And here Henderson is fumbling the ball. Benjamin dives and he misses the ball completely, and McDonald picks it up, and we now have a chance to take a 2-possession lead. On 3rd and 5, White is out in the shotgun. He's going to snap the ball and roll out to the right side. He sees a wide open Jaquay Rodgers, who picks up the first down, stiff arms past one defender and gets to the 15-yard line. We're making a pretty good drive, and we want to be able to get a touchdown and take a 10-point lead at the start of the third quarter. Now White is rolling out to the right side, finds a wide open Mike Williams, and we are just torching this Cleveland Browns defense. Jaquay White is happy. He has missed a ton of games this year due to injury, but it's good to see that he's bouncing back in the second half of the season. And now the Browns have the ball at the 22-yard line. Baldridge is back. He's looking to the right side, and he finds Josh Gordon, who gets all the way to the 40-yard line before being hammered down, and Josh Gordon and Trent Richardson were just killing us this game. Now Baldridge is back on 2nd and 5. He's throwing it across the middle to, of course, Trent Richardson, who runs over a defender to the 41-yard line. The Browns are making a pretty good drive downfield, trying to narrow our lead, and they're just going to keep giving it to Trent Richardson. He goes up the middle and gets another first down. Our defense needs to step up because the Browns have found the holes in it. Now on 1st and 10, I'm sending everybody at Trent Richardson, and he still gets past the whole group, gets tripped up by his own man. A defender didn't even tackle him. Now on 2nd and inches, I'm bringing the pressure again. I do not want Trent Richardson to be the one that beats us. Baldridge dumps it off to his fullback, who breaks 2 tackles and is going to get into the end zone. Fullbacks do not make moves like that in the NFL. I'm just sorry. Fullbacks are not that elusive, but here he is. He's in the end zone. We will now only have a 3-point lead, and we will get the ball on the 38-yard line on 1st and 10. Jaquay White is back in, and his team back in the game. He's rolling out to the right side, throwing it across the middle to Jared Cook. Now that Jaquay Rodgers is not stepping up in the second half of this season, we need to center our offense around Jared Cook. On 2nd and 3, we'll do a draw play to Jaquay Rodgers, who's cutting in, running out to the left side, and he gets all the way to around the 15-yard line, finally getting some good rushing yards for us. Now with only 2 minutes left in the third quarter, Jaquay White is doing a play action to Jaquay Rodgers. He's rolling out to the right side, and I'm going to run with him, and he's going to go, and finally I learned how to do the slide with the quarterback. I just want to send out a shout out to Stab3D by King, who's the user that told me how to finally do it, because up to this point I was afraid to run with Jaquay White because I was worried that he would run with the ball and get hit by a defensive player and get injured. So now I'm finally able to run with him, and there Jaquay Rodgers is getting a touchdown, increasing our lead back up to 10 points. Now Trent Richardson is getting the ball on the left side. He does a completely unnecessary spin move, actually spinning toward James Laurinaitis, who hits him down at the 45-yard line. Now on 3rd and 5, they have the ball with 23 seconds left. Baldridge is back. He has so much time in the pocket, giving it to Trent Richardson again. And as I said earlier in the video, my defense in this game was just absolutely horrendous. I dove with 3 defenders at Trent Richardson, and I could just not catch him in that play. Now at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Baldridge is getting sacked by Chris Long, pushing them back 7 yards to the 50-yard line. Now Baldridge is going to need to make up some yards on 2nd and 17. He's throwing it across the middle to Josh Gordon, who gets them within field goal range. A bad defensive play by the St. Louis Rams. Now they have it on 3rd and 5. We can still stop him here and have a chance of only letting up a field goal. He's throwing it to the right side to Greg Little, but I make a stupid play with Cortland Finnegan. I miss the tackle, and Greg Little never even gets hit down. He runs over 2 guys and gets hit out of bounds, so now they have the chance to lower down our lead to 3 points. Baldridge is back. He's throwing it to the left side. I make another stupid defensive play. My defense was just atrocious this game, and now the Rams' lead is only down to 3 because of that terrible defense. So now the Rams will get the ball back at the 34-yard line on 3rd and 7. We're going to be doing a play action with Jaquiz Rodgers, and immediately after the play action, Jaquay White gets sacked right there. So now the Browns will have the ball and will have the chance to take the lead at this point in the game with 6 minutes left. Baldridge just lobbing it to the right side to Dustin Keller, and I miss another tackle, and I have to chase him down with James Laurinaitis. They are now in field goal range and have the chance to take the lead. Now on the 29-yard line, Baldridge is back in the shotgun. He's faking the pass on the screen, and he gets sacked right there by Chris Long at the 36-yard line. That will now make it 2nd and 17, and we may have just hit them out of field goal range. But the Browns are not giving up on this drive. Baldridge is back passing again. He's thrown it down the left side, and it is intercepted by McDonald. I will purposely run out of bounds right here. I do not want to try taking that out. So now the Rams will get the ball at the 20-yard line. Just a crazy fourth quarter up to this point. We're setting up a corner strike play right here. Jaquay White is rolling out to the right side, and he's doing a little pass to Jared Cook, who gets just 1 yard away from the first down marker. A nice play right there. We don't always have to throw the ball deep, but after a couple bad plays, it will be 3rd and 14 at the 27-yard line. Jaquay White is throwing it to the left side, and a crazy catch by Tavon Austin, jumping in the air and catching it with one hand. That will bring us to the 45-yard line and will give us a chance to increase our lead. Now Jaquiz Rodgers is finally getting some rushing yards. He gets the first down before being hit out of bounds. So now on the 43-yard line, the Rams will be throwing it in the shotgun. Jaquay White is back. He's rolling out to the right side and doing a short pass to Chris Givens, who runs over 1 defender, gets up and gets the first down. A great hustle play by Chris Givens, and that's his first reception on the day. Now as we're approaching the 2-minute warning, we're giving the ball to Zach Stacy, and Zach Stacy right there running over defenders left and right gets us all the way to the 17-yard line. A key play right there by him. So after wasting 2 of the Browns timeouts, we're going to try to convert here on 3rd and 4. We're passing it. Jaquay White's scrambling in the pocket, and I'm forced to throw the ball out of bounds. I did not want to try throwing it end zone and getting an interception, so we will be kicking a field goal from the 12-yard line. I didn't want to go for it in that kind of situation. The kick is up and good, so now the score will be 37-31. The Rams have the lead, but the Browns have a chance to go downfield, get a touchdown, and take the lead in the next 80 seconds. Baldridge is in the shotgun. He's throwing it to the right side, and look who is wide open. Josh Gordon. I missed the tackle with Cortland Finnegan. Josh Gordon's running down the sideline. He's trying to get to the end zone, and luckily we are able to trip him up, and unfortunately he does get hurt, but that does blow the Browns last time out. On the 17-yard line, Baldridge is passing, and he gets sacked by Langford. A big defensive play right there. That brings them all the way back to the 25-yard line. On 3rd and 18, he's going to need to try throw it deep. He's throwing it to the right side to Best, who gets just yards away from the first down marker. So on 4th and 3, we need to get a key stop here. This is the game basically. Let's see if the rookie quarterback can win it for his team. Baldridge is back. He's looking to the left side, and Trent Richardson picks up the first down. A crushing blow for our team, and not only that, but one of our players gets hurt, and we have to use a timeout. The Rams still have a chance though of stopping them on the goal line. He's throwing to end zone, and Best again with a crazy catch in the back of the end zone. The Browns take a 1-point lead, and the Rams are going to need to go downfield in 30 seconds and score with just 2 timeouts. On 2nd and 10, Jaquay White is trying to win it for his team. A field goal wins the game, and he finds Chris Givens on the right side, who gets to the 41-yard line. We use our first timeout, and we have 1 left. Now on 1st and 10 with 19 seconds, we're going to try to get out of bounds. He throws it, and Zach Stacy, what are you doing? He picks up the ball, and we are forced to use our last timeout. He may have just cost us the game, and I'm showing you the replay in slow motion here. It was completely unnecessary for Zach Stacy to go for that ball. I was trying to throw deep, but because Jaquay White got hit, I ended up throwing it short, and Zach Stacy went for the ball for reasons unknown. On 2nd and 6, we're going to try to get out of bounds. We find Tavon Austin on the right side, and he gets just feet away from the out of bounds marker. Jaquay White is going to try to get everybody back to the line with 6 seconds left. Everybody's running to the line. 1 second, and that is the game. The Rams lose to the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland because of a stupid play by Zach Stacy. Just a terrible game overall. Our defense played terribly, and Zach Stacy, I can't believe this guy. I want to drop him after this kind of game, and Jeff Fisher is just crushed because the Rams are now 3-4 on the season. A rough start to the year, and I was so mad after this loss that I just skipped ahead away from the post-game interview views and all those things. I'm sorry you guys can't see those, but I was just so frustrated after that play. So now I am simming week 7 of the NFL season, and you can see right on the right side, the Cardinals are the #1 team in the NFC West after being the worst team in the NFL the past season. And not only that, the Seahawks are having a horrendous season too. So once done simulating our bye week, I'm simulating week 9 of the regular season. Our record is 3-4, and we move up to 4-4. And since this is season 2 of this series, we're doing every 3 games I'm playing, so I'm also simulating week 10, and the simulation has been very kind to us. We win those 2 games, which makes our record 5-4, so the next game we play could put us at 500. So right here, I'm showing you the remaining games of the season. I'll probably be playing 3 of them, and I want you guys to tell me which of those teams you want to see me play against. So I'm just running through all of the rosters here. Some of the teams that you haven't seen yet are like the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Ravens, and I'm just showing you guys what new acquisitions they have. So that will conclude this episode of the Rams Connected franchise. Be sure to go to the video I posted, I think around a month and a half ago, asking you guys which NBA 2K4 team I should play as in my GM mode, because it is tied right now between the Bucks and the Denver Nuggets, and the votes that you guys put in could basically decide who I play as at this point. And when you guys are done doing that, be sure to comment in this video's comments, tell me which team you want me to play against in the next 3 episodes of this series. So I hope you guys had a fun time watching, and lastly, I just want to apologize for not putting out videos in a while. I think it's been around 2 weeks since I last posted a video, so I'm gonna try to get a little bit more consistent with these videos, the Madden 25 ones, because I have the new Xbox, and I want to start up my NBA 2K14 series. So I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you guys. Bye.